Morning. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. I am Amy Firestein, her, she pronouns, and I look forward to sharing leadership of today's service with Teresa Alberici and members of both the Buildings and Grounds Committees. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whomever you love, and however you may spend your days, you are welcome at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg. We invite you to join us for coffee hour following this morning's service, either downstairs in the common room or on Zoom. And while we all want to stay connected to each other, I would like to invite you to take this moment to hold our space here as sacred by silencing your electronic devices and preparing yourself to be present. Online or in person, we're grateful for this time together.
We have chosen to bring ourselves here to this sanctuary today to gather as a community of faith. We join together in solidarity as covenant people who are drawn together by the promise of connection and the mysterious pull of the unanswerable. As seekers, wanderers, appreciators of nature, and creators of connection, our paths have converged today so that we might become present to the spirit that is worship. And so let us worship together. Please rise as you are able and join us in this song. Each week, it is our tradition to light a chalice, which casts a circle of light to hold us all. As we create anew this symbol of our shared faith, let's reflect on these words by Carter Smith. Spirit of life, spirit of love, forever moving amongst us and within us, we call out your name. We seek to know grace so that we might honor our interconnectedness this morning with each other and with those who've come before us.
When we gather in community, it's important to remind ourselves and each other of why we are here and what we've agreed to try together. Here at UCH, we've decided our goals are to encourage each other, to equip each other with what we need to succeed, and to empower each other to do good things. We renew this promise by reading our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to few words from our stewardship campaign committee, John Hargraves.
It'll be a brief few words. So we're celebrating the end of our campaign today, and the Stellar Committee is comprised of Deb Puskar, Linda Hope, Handa Belser, Mary Henninger Voss, chaired by Joyce Stoltzfus. It is ably guided by Lois Voigt, Tavia Flanagan, and Reverend Brand. When we saw the overwhelming result of the call for Reverend Brand, we realized the congregation was excited and happy. And therefore, the Stewardship Committee was excited and happy. You see the results behind me here. Our goal was 380,000 from 128 pledging units. The congregation came across way beyond 380,000, and we've ended up so far with 409,000. So well beyond our goal. We're happy with that. Next slide. The next slide will show a little bit of that. Assuming the congregation approves the budget to present it at the May 31st annual meeting, your generosity will enable us to increase staff salaries, increase professional expenses, fund some kitchen supplies, and beef up our technology. And our final slide shows that well, it was a piece of cake, actually. And so downstairs, please join the Stewardship Committee and have a piece of cake. Thank you.
So today's story is titled, We Are All Connected, but I'm going to need some help. I need you, I'll point out the time, but I'm going to need to hear you say, we are all connected. So let's just practice. We are all connected. Yes, okay. Let's do that one more time. We are all connected. We all live on one blue dot spinning in space. We are all part of one human race. We have hopes and dreams and love in our hearts. We are stronger together than when we are apart. So why all the fuss to compete and to compare when it feels so much better to connect and to share? We can share when we're sad or down in the dumps. We can share our joys, give high fives or fist bumps. When we're seen and heard, trust blooms and grows. We are all connected. Kindness ripples and flows. Let's speak up for others, include and embrace. We all make mistakes. We can give others grace. We have more in common than we may believe. We are all connected. We all love, we all grieve. We can celebrate differences, lend a hand, learn from each other, and take a stand. We are all connected. Let's raise our voices. We can work together to make brave choices. Protect the water, care for the land, respect all beings. The earth is grand. Nature gives her bounty. She is gentle yet mighty. Stand in awe of her force. Preserve her beauty. Let's look under rocks and explore vast skies. Honor the mountains and chase butterflies. Let's go hunting for rainbows, plant more trees, grow a garden, and be friends with the bees. The earth is our home and needs our care. We all play a part. We breathe the same air. We all belong to the earth. It's not ours. We are all connected. We are made of the stars. We are all connected. Take care of each other. Take care of the earth. We are all here together. Thank you.
My wife and I first came to the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg over 25 years ago to find a religious home for our family. Now, we did not look like a typical family, a white lesbian couple with 2 children of color. Not all churches were really happy to see us. A friend suggested that we try UCH, and we did. Here, our family was welcomed, celebrated, and valued. We found our faith home, and I found my spiritual niche. I have a background in ecology, so when I use the word niche and community, I use them within the context of both social and ecosystems. Picture a wetland ecosystem. This one's easy to recognize: water, American lotus, and cattails in the background. Like all ecosystems, the living community interacts with the non-living surroundings to function as a unit, a system. All parts of the ecosystem are important. All are interdependent. We can name this ecosystem, but how do we actually capture its essence? Amy Seidel, ecologist and author, states, ecosystems exist in their fullest sense underground. What we see above is only the outer margins. The ecosystem explodes in intricacy and life below. Well, not everything is underground. To truly understand the wetland ecosystem and how it functions, we need to take a deeper look. A wetland is a web of activities and stories. Some we see and others are hidden among the soil, water, and roots. A great blue heron is eyeing up a frog who is looking for a tasty dragonfly to eat. A muskrat munches on lotus while a wood duck takes care of her young. Fish, frogs, and turtles swim beneath the plants, taking shelter in the roots and hunting for food. The cycles of the wetland are sustained by thousands of interactions and interconnections. The composition of an ecosystem, the components of an ecosystem have different roles, some large, some small. These roles can even change over time. Cattails and lotus grow, bloom, and go dormant, but they still provide food all year round. Green herons come to the wetland just long enough to raise their young. Snapper turtles sleep in the mud all winter long, while muskrats seek food and shelter during the year. Tundra swans just stop in for a day or two for rest and nourishment. All depend on each other, the sun, the soil, and the water. It is the same here at church. It's easy to see the building and the grounds. We can point to it and say, hey, that's our church. Now include the congregation and the ministry team and even the board. It sounds simple, but we all know it's so much more. Our church is a kaleidoscope of interconnections. The ministry team, the board of trustees, members, many committees, and the congregation continually interact with each other to shape policies, worship service, outreach, finances, and building and grounds. Covenant groups, the bell and voice choirs, religious education classes, social justice, special projects, and coffee hour all weave together to create the essence of our church. The Unitarian Church is sustained by thousands of interconnections and interactions. All depend on each other. Each of us contributes to this church ecosystem in our own way. When I first joined, I was very active in religious education and in couch groups. Then life became so busy that I had to take a step back and regroup. But the church and services remained important to me, the place I came for rest, fellowship, and spiritual nourishment, something like the tundra swan in the wetland. Now, happily, I'm able to sing in the choir and participate in discussion groups and be more involved in the church community once again. But recently, I had to miss many weeks of Sunday services and choir practices. Thanks to the tech team, I was able to see services later in the week. But I'm a people person, and I missed being here. I was feeling disconnected. Finally, one Sunday, I was able to be here in person. I loved being with all of you at the service and was very excited to go to the coffee hour. But as I entered the room downstairs, I felt a bit awkward. Many friends were busy elsewhere. Who would I talk to? Usually I'm pretty outgoing and quick to talk with others, but I was tired and I was not sure I had the energy to approach someone I didn't know. But I needed coffee, so I got in line. A gentleman noticed my many bracelets. He asked me about the stones on my bracelets, and although I do not know a lot about stones, I like to wear different beads and stones. They have meaning and hold memories for me. We discovered we both had an interest in crystals, rocks, and minerals, and ended up having coffee together, happily chatting about different minerals and where to find them. He shared his knowledge and time with me. As we were getting ready to leave, he dug around in his pocket and pulled out a container holding a small piece of metal. It turns out he also liked to carry a rock, mineral, or metal with him every day. He gave me this metal, a small piece of silver, in this little tube. I keep it in the box with my bracelet and keys. Every morning when I put on my bracelets, this gift, his gift, reminds me of his kindness and my connections to you all, and I smile. What a great way to start the day. Jane Goodall said it clearly: you cannot go through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Thousands of interconnections create the story of our church. All of these connections, even seemingly small ones, can have a great impact. I know they have for me. Thank you.
Standing on these mountains and plains.
is the time when we engage as a community in the sharing of our joys and sorrows, our concerns, and our milestones. When we join together to hold each other in support and in celebration, we deepen our sense of interrelationship. We may find our sorrows eased and our joys magnified. I invite you to share them now through writing them on a slip of paper or typing them in the virtual chat. Please indicate whether your message is okay to share aloud. You can also honor whatever you are holding in your heart by placing a stone in the water of community. Please come down the center aisle and return to your seats by the side aisles. Spoken or unspoken, our hearts join with yours in carrying all that life brings. I placed one final stone in the water of community for all who are not here to share with us today, and for all of those that remain in our hearts. A joy. On Friday, I rang the bell for the end of my radiation treatment for a nasal lymphoma. We'll know the results in about 2 months. Fingers crossed. Joe. It is nice to watch the service. Happy Sunday, everyone. My mom and brothers say hello from Wenji. My granddaughter, Imogene, and her English husband, Ben, are here for a visit from the UK. I won a Scrabble game from Emo and her mom last night, Marilyn McHenry. Hello, I am tuning in from home as I am not feeling well again. My joy is this week I have been accepted to and enrolled at Penn State, Maine for theater technology. Eddie Boyer. Two months after ankle surgery, I am finally allowed to drive and attend church in person. Miles McGovney. We're welcome to have me back. Joyfully celebrating 6 months of sobriety on my daughter, I got that right? Right, it is daughter? Okay, you wrote it right. Daughter Alexandra's behalf, Margie Schubauer. And a joy. My recent cancer treatments were covered by our health insurance, and each of the 6 cost over $100,000. Congratulations. A sorrow. Because of our broken healthcare system, people die because healthcare costs so much. That's from Jim Kavanaugh. For all that has been shared and those many concerns we hold deep in our hearts and yet remain unspoken, we journey with each other in love.
Good morning. My name is Anita Menser, and first I want you to notice the bouquet up here with the pebbles. All of those flowers have come from the grounds around our church. When you venture over Peters Mountain to the north of Harrisburg, the first little village you encounter is Matamoros. As a child, I spent many weekends there having sleepovers with my maternal grandparents, Velva and Charles Korsnitz. The homes in this village sit right along the 2-lane highway, as did theirs, but their yard extended far beyond their home, another probably 200 feet, most of it as vegetable and flower gardens. Graham and Pap were my favorite grandparents, and it was with them that my early experiences in gardening were cultivated. I have fond memories of picking strawberries in the spring, green beans in the summer, and harvesting potatoes with them in the fall. Grammy had a cut flower garden, and I particularly remember the elegant gladiolus that she raised. And Pappy planted sunflowers in the last row of the garden to feed the birds during the winter. I wonder if they were aware of the other types of seeds that they were planting. When we were raising our own children, we always had a vegetable garden. Do you recall Mary Sebastian's assessment in her reflection from a few weeks ago? There's nothing like eating just picked asparagus. I would also add that a sun-ripened tomato is hard to beat. When our 2 grandsons came along, one of our favorite outdoor activities was gardening, planting and then watching sugar peas and pumpkins grow. However, when the boys saw all that dirt, sorry, Larry, dirt, they brought their Tonka trucks, bulldozers, and excavators to help in the garden. The verdict is out about whether or not we passed along the garden gene, but we were planting seeds together. I've been a member of UCH for 20 years, and in the early days here, my husband and I connected with the garden crew. We adopted a small section of a foundation bed and cared for it for several years. It was a way to meet others with a similar interest and volunteer our service. But life moved on, and other activities took precedent. During the summer of 2019, after a long illness, my husband John passed away. Gardening became a way to ease my grief and sorrow. Getting my hands into the soil, planting, transplanting, and yes, even weeding felt zen-like, a spiritual practice, if you will. The following year, when we were all stressed out over COVID, Penn State Extension of Lebanon County offered their Master Gardener training program online. I applied. This course provided a safe way for me to connect with other gardening enthusiasts, along with learning the science behind many of the garden strategies that I used. Although the classes were virtual, we spent many weekends in person putting our new knowledge to work in the demonstration gardens at the Lebanon Extension Office. Soon after I received my Master Gardener certificate, fellow gardener and friend, the late Kate Quimby and Cordell Affelt, contacted me. They were representing the newly formed Aesthetic Integrity Committee, and they wanted to do a walk around on the UCH gardens. They asked if I would join them. They thought the foundation beds could use some attention, and might I have any suggestions? Oh my. Did I have suggestions? What about a complete makeover? Little did I realize that accepting their invitation would have such a significant an impact on my relationships here at UCH. The reconstituted garden team, which now numbers 21 participants, transformed our UCH grounds and gardens. Larry Beyer was already hard at work, literally attacking the invasives and reclaiming our trees. The rest of us cleaned out the storage shed, weeded, organized a plant sale to refurbish the garden beds, weeded, disassembled and removed the deteriorated playground structure, and then spread 10 tons of topsoil where the playground had been, seeded grass, weeded, constructed a compost bin behind the shed, weeded, and tagged thousands of seedlings for the Pennsylvania Interfaith Power and Light tree giveaway. Planted 24 bare root native trees around our church campus. Watered, edged, planted, transplanted, mulched, and did I mention weeding? We also meet monthly via Zoom to plan what we need to do next besides weeding. None of these accomplishments could have been completed without the help of all the members of the Grounds and Garden team. I want to give a shout out to all the volunteers. And if you were on the Grounds and Garden team, would you please stand up so we can recognize you? We are committed to being good stewards of our beautiful 4-acre campus. Stewardship also includes building continuing relationships with our neighbors, especially those whose backyards are adjacent to our church grounds. Larry Beyer was our garden ambassador extraordinaire. He extended the hand of friendship to all our backyard neighbors, and he knew them by name. He helped them with tree questions or landscape problems, either on their property or ours. Larry may not have thought about it like this, but he was planting seeds, and we intend to continue that legacy. Our Grounds and Garden team makes many contributions to UCH. I'm grateful I am still physically able to perform this service so our church campus will look inviting. But more importantly, I treasure all of the relationships and friendships and conversations that are the result of gardening with this committed, hardworking group of people. You are all welcome to join us however you are able. You never know what seeds we might plant together. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Deb Pushkar, and I serve on the UCH Board of Trustees. I'm here this morning to represent the important labor and leadership that our members offer to keep the congregation thriving. The Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is, as always, an intentionally gathered congregation of freely thinking, loving people. The church is created, sustained, and supported by us. Each week we take up an offering where we ask each other to share money to support the church. We also use half of this money to help a charity which is doing important work to improve the world. This month we are sharing with Community Checkup Center. It's located in the Hall Manor neighborhood.
That was a change.
This month is May, not April. For the month of May, I knew this. For the month of May, we are starting with Recycle a Bicycle. Located in the Allison Hill neighborhood of Harrisburg, Recycle Bicycle, Harrisburg's mission is to provide Harrisburg residents, especially those of limited means, with access to safe, reliable, affordable, and environmentally friendly transportation in the form of bicycles. If you wish to contribute, this month we were,
You can go back to yours now.
thank you. Hey, it's a work in progress. In just a moment, the greeters will start passing offering plates around. You can put cash or checks in the plate when it comes by. You can also donate online by scanning the QR code on the back of your order service or by visiting uchbg.org and scroll to the bottom of the page for options. Your financial support and commitment matters. Please consider giving what you're able. Thank you. Good morning again. I'm here representing the building team, a volunteer organization that helps take care of the inside of the building and the outside. Isn't this a lovely building? Yeah. I can sit here for long hours, almost, mesmerized by the birds and just enjoying the structure. With its mid-century modern design, its elevated position, and this beautiful view right here in the sanctuary. It's easy for me to feel gratitude for those past members that envisioned what could be, found this land, and followed their dream to fruition. I've seen photographs of the church from many angles. One of them is the bird's eye view, how the birds may look at it. And it's like the building has wings. And also, like, for me, it's like watching the blue boat, our blue boat home. I just feel like we're soaring through space and time. Of course, it's more than just board and nails, concrete and steel. It's our home. It's a home of our church where we gather for services, activities, and come together as a community. This building shelters us and gives us a place where we can find connection, safety, and inclusion. 3 years ago, when I first came to UCH for a service, I just retired from a long career as an optician. My children were grown and lived in 3 different states. And yes, it was 3 different directions too: north, west, and east. They could not line up the cardinal direction and agree on one. Meant we drove a lot to see them. And I found myself, searching for a community, for open-mindedness and belonging. And I arrived here toward the end of winter when the snowdrops begin to bloom. As I stepped through the doors, I was greeted, like so many others, by Bart Carpenter. and Danny Byrne, their warm welcome, along with the many sincere, kind, and interesting people I met, sealed the deal for me. I was going to stay, and I soon became a member. And that year, UCH had a volunteer fair in the common room where I discovered a cornucopia of groups and teams, committees looking for help. I wandered through it, and I was like, oh, I'd like to do this. I would like to do that. And I thought, no. I wanted one that I could contribute the bulk of my labor and energies toward. And for me, that was the building team. It's a long-standing group of individuals with diverse skills that work to keep everything in good repair and make improvements where needed. From laying communication lines, overseeing elevator repairs, fixing electrical problems in toilets, and minding the roof and the exterior structure. This group does a lot. For me, buildings and construction have always been something that I care deeply about and find fascinating. As a child of post-World War II parents, we lived in a time when new construction and the jobs it brought were everywhere. And within my family, the men worked at trades that supported that growth. As carpenters, plumbers, and steelworkers, my father, like his older brother, chose to be a carpenter, so I grew up loving the rich fragrance of shaved wood and the sounds and sight of carpentry tools. At home, perched on the basement steps, I'd watch my father glide his planes expertly and smoothly over boards, resulting in billowy clouds of curls resting amid board scraps, all of which, once he was done, were transformed by us children into tower walls and Rapunzel hair, a playland where wooden sawhorses were bucking broncos, ready to be saddled and ridden. As we went about our days, my father would drive off in his panel truck to work at various construction sites throughout the week. Once he started his own construction company, weekends were work days too. And sometimes one of us, children, would accompany him to the job for a few hours. This was a time in my life where I saw houses evolve from excavation to foundation, from floors to walls, until the structure was under roof, marking the beginning of my education in the value of a strong foundation, proper waterproofing and drainage, and the entire job of house building. As I wandered around the church, I was encouraged by my mentor, Dave, to notice things. You know, is this door working correctly? Is it closing right? Is this chair wobbly? These are all the things that myself and other people in this group pay attention to and take the time to fix so we can all not fall off our chairs. And to explore the outside of the house, the building. Like I'm walking up the path and I find pieces of shingle in the grass. I say, that's not good. The roof is healing, but it was much more complicated than it may just seem like, oh, just put another roof on it. We had to work through issues with our former roofer, who apparently didn't understand that a roof has to last longer than 3 years. But that is starting to get better. So after years of learning by osmosis and instruction, I know how to swing a hammer, pour and finish concrete, and grade a yard to direct rainwater away from a foundation. My 20-year job before I retired was sitting in an office in front of a computer. And when I came here, that was the one thing I didn't want to do. I wanted to go back to who I was and, swing some hammers and pull some lines through the ceiling, stand on 20-foot tall ladders. And being new to Unitarian Universalism, I did not understand entirely what that was about until it was time for us to change the light bulbs in the sanctuary. It's not as simple as screwing in a light bulb. So how many Unitarians does it take to screw in a light bulb? I made my own joke on this one. My observations were, it takes the whole congregation. Dave explained to me that there were many different colors of LED bulbs. So he was going to install them in the different fixtures and hang colored ribbons on them. So everyone could say, I like that one, or I like this one. You know, and I'm like, what is the difference? I don't, except for the ribbons, I hadn't quite gotten it yet. But then everybody came together who wanted to speak about it, and other ones who didn't were quiet. And they said, well, I like the red ribbon one better. I like the plaid ribbon better. And so we made our selection that way. And then I was not the person who changed the light bulbs. I was the person who held the ladder. At least I looked like I was. We sent the youngest among us up there. Go ahead, Kyle. You got it. Up he went. But that's my idea of how many Unitarians does it take to change a light bulb? The entire congregation. I enjoy that. So, along my life path, as I've done the things that I love to do, and as I've become part of this congregation, you know, I gained a deeper mastery of life's and learned life's larger lessons, like taking responsibility for myself and my actions, working as part of a team, you know, as part of a congregation, embracing stewardship roles, seeing this building as almost a living example, a living manifestation of all of us, and knowing that it really matters to take care of it and share knowledge. And so I'm truly grateful. I'm grateful for all that I've learned. I'm certainly grateful for my father, who became an amazing construction teacher. He found his calling a little later in life, but he was wonderful at it. And I'm glad to be part of the UCH and its building team. And aren't we all connected? So thank you.
As we prepare to continue with our day, let's reflect on the words by Carter Smith and Cheryl Locke. As we go forward into this frightening, exhilarating, confusing, miraculous world, may we offer our comfort to the afflicted, our love to those who are lonely, and our wish for all to be safe. May we know that our interconnectedness is a miracle, and may it be a refuge for us, felt in the voice of a friend, in the touch of a loved one, in the goodness we have witnessed and enacted in the world, and in memories of days spent in good company.